Have you ever wanted to just turn everything off and step away from life for a while? I'm not talking about being tired. That would be easy to explain. It's not laziness either, even though they tell you that so much you almost believe it. It's something heavier, deeper, harder to put into words. You go to bed, but you don't rest. You wake up in the middle of the night with a pressure in your chest that you don't know where it comes from. And the worst part isn't what you feel, it's that you can't explain it. Because when you try, you hear the same old thing. It's just a phase, cheer up. It happens to all of us, of course. Said like that, it sounds simple, but you know it's not. You feel it deep inside. That exhaustion doesn't come from your body. It's like something inside you is urgently asking for a change. It's like every part of you is screaming, but in a language no one else speaks. No one hears it, only you. And then the guilt comes, because you should be fine. You should be doing things, moving forward, producing, functioning like everyone else. But you can't. Getting out of bed feels like climbing a mountain without oxygen, and explaining that, impossible. Now, listen to me. What if everything you've been told about this state is completely wrong? More than 150 years ago, Yelena Petrovna Blavatsky was already talking about this with a clarity that still makes people uncomfortable today. According to her, it's the uncontrollable urge to stay in bed. It's not weakness. It's not depression. And of course, it's not that you're failing. It's a sign, the first one, and the most important one. Your pineal gland is starting to activate. And no, this isn't some comforting theory to make you feel better. It's a completely different way of understanding what you're experiencing, one that gives a name to that inner chaos. And for the first time, it turns it into something meaningful. Blavatsky didn't see the pineal gland as just another organ of the body. No. For her, it was the eye of Shiva, a kind of inner portal. The exact point where the human touches the divine, while modern medicine reduces it to a biological function. She described it as the receiver of higher frequencies, the place where your soul connects with your body. And when that connection starts to awaken, nothing stays the same. Because it's not a gentle adjustment, it's a radical change. Your whole system goes into a kind of forced upgrade. And of course, your conscious mind has no idea what's going on. Your body, even less. That's why that strange symptom appears. The overwhelming desire to isolate yourself, to stop, to disconnect from everything. It's not a coincidence. Blavatsky explained that when the third eye is activated, it starts to absorb huge amounts of energy, as if something inside you turned on a new system. But it's so powerful that it needs all the electricity available. Imagine that. All the energy in your house, diverted to a single machine. Result, the rest shuts down. No light, no power, nothing works. That's you right now. It's not that you don't have energy. It's just that your energy is being used somewhere else. Your body doesn't respond because it's busy with something much deeper, a kind of internal reconstruction, new neural connections, processes that had been dormant, who knows how long. And here comes what changes everything. This doesn't happen for no reason. It's not chance, it's not bad luck. It's not that it happened to you, it's a decision. Your soul made it. There's a part of you, deeper, older, wiser, that decided it's time to wake up, to remember who you really are, to activate something you've held inside far longer than you realize. And for that, you need to activate the pineal gland, because without that bridge working at full capacity, there is no real access to anything higher. Of course, there's a small detail no one tells you. Your higher self never asks permission. It doesn't consult your mind or negotiate with you. When the conditions are right, it just starts and suddenly you're there, lying down, no energy, no desire, not understanding anything. Meanwhile, in silence, deep in your brain, Something huge is already in motion, and it doesn't plan to stop. Maybe for the first time you're hearing someone describe exactly what you've been feeling for a long time, but you never knew how to explain it. Let me ask you something, and answer yourself honestly. That exhaustion you feel, it goes way beyond the body. That urge to isolate yourself, to get away from all the noise, to disconnect from everything. Does that sound too familiar to you? Do you literally feel like your body resists keeping up with the normal pace of life? If this is happening to you, don't ignore it, because right now, there are thousands of people watching this, feeling the same way, but convinced that they're alone, and they're not. Write in the comments, "My pineal gland is awakening." That's all? 4 words? It's not for engagement. It's for something deeper. When you say what's happening to you out loud, you stop carrying it alone. And without realizing it, you become that little light that someone else needs to see, so they don't think they're going crazy. And yes, I'm going to read them, because every word you write carries more weight than you think. Now listen to this. Blavatsky spoke of 3 very clear phases in this process. 3 stages that no one explains to you anywhere, but they fit too well with what you're experiencing. The first phase? Purification. And no, it's not pretty. It's the hardest one, because your body is completely lost. It doesn't understand. The pineal gland begins vibrating at a different frequency, and that creates a brutal internal shock. You feel it as pressure in your head, right on your forehead or on the crown of your head, dizziness, disorientation. You sleep a lot, but you wake up more tired than before, as if resting didn't help at all. Your appetite changes. Suddenly, heavy food repels you, and that fatigue, the kind that won't go away no matter what, it becomes constant. Now comes the second phase.
Integración. Aquí es donde todo se pone raro.
Your opinion has already shifted. Now it really starts to work. And that opens doors you didn't even know existed before. Hyper-real dreams. So intense that when you wake up, you have doubts. What was real? Lights, colors, symbols. Even with your eyes closed. Sometimes you feel like there's something in the room, even when you're alone. And no, it's not paranoia. Suddenly, you understand deep things without looking for them, as if someone were downloading information directly into your mind. Effortlessly, with no apparent logic, your sensitivity skyrockets. You feel what others feel, as if it were yours. You detect lies without anyone saying a word. You sense the energy of places, of objects, even from people you've just met. And then comes the third phase, anchoring. There's no turning back now. The third eye is active, and you too, but on another level. And that changes everything. You start to realize that your old life no longer fits. Relationships you used to tolerate, now they weigh on you. Environments that used to seem normal, they drain you in minutes. Empty conversations, you find them unbearable. And here's the most uncomfortable part. You can't pretend anymore. You can't act like nothing's happening. You can't keep acting. And many times, your external life starts to fall apart. Not because something is going wrong, but because you can no longer keep pretending to be someone you're not. Blavatsky said it without sugarcoating it. This isn't light and love all the time. It's not a pretty path. It's intense. It's uncomfortable. Sometimes it hurts. It's a death. The end of the self you believed you were. So the real you can emerge. And no, it's not just a nice metaphor. You feel it in your body, in your mind, in your emotions. That's why you want to stay in bed. It's not weakness. It's intelligence. Your body knows it needs to stop, that it needs space, that it needs energy for something much bigger than just being productive. Think of it this way. When a caterpillar transforms into a butterfly, it doesn't multitask. It doesn't reply to messages. It doesn't optimize its routine. It locks itself away It dissolves. It rebuilds itself. The same thing is happening to you. And if you understand this, you stop fighting with yourself. Now, Blavatsky also talked about something key: how to sustain this process without collapsing. The first practice is simple, but almost no one does it. Darkness. The pineal gland responds directly to the absence of light. The more you expose yourself to screens, artificial lights, constant stimuli, the more you interfere with the process. You need moments of total darkness. No phone, no noise, no distractions, because that's where what's inside you really starts to activate. The second practice is silence. And I'm not just talking about turning off the noise outside. I'm talking about the noise inside, that constant dialogue that never shuts up. Simple breathing, being present, not trying to achieve anything for a few minutes. Just be. That's where you really give the pineal gland space to do its thing, without your mind making noise every 2 seconds. The third one, clean up what you consume. Less chemicals, more natural, clean water, real food. Cut back on stimulants like caffeine, because even though they stimulate you, they also interfere. Blavatsky was already talking about fluoride in the 19th century as something that directly affects the pineal gland. Interesting. Many people still find this topic uncomfortable. Now, if you're still here, it's not a coincidence. Something in you recognized this. You didn't get here by accident. It wasn't just another video. There's a part of you that already knew. It just needed to hear it out loud. And if that's happening to you, this channel isn't just any place. You don't come here to distract yourself. You come here to understand. If you want to keep exploring this kind of knowledge, subscribe. Not out of habit, but because this process isn't something you do alone. There are more people going through this than you think. And when you surround yourself, even digitally, with people who are on the same path, everything changes. Because this is where many people get scared. Blavatsky said that when the pineal gland is activated, many times it coincides with a period of destruction in your life. And no, it's not bad luck. It's a consequence. When your frequency changes, you stop fitting in where you used to. It's that simple. Relationships that seemed stable, they start to fall apart. Jobs you used to tolerate now become unbearable. And friendships you've had for years, suddenly they feel empty. Not because others have changed, because you changed. And when that happens, holding on to the old becomes impossible. Your life can start to fall apart, piece by piece. But here's the key that almost no one wants to accept. What falls apart? It's because it can no longer stay. Clinging to that is fighting against your own evolution. And yes, it hurts. But it also sets you free. If this is resonating with you, leave a like. Not for superficial support, but because that gesture, even if it seems small, it can help this message reach someone who is right now in their bed, feeling lost, broken, convinced that there's no way out. Sometimes, a single video at the right moment changes everything. Blavatsky also spoke of something even greater, the pineal gland. It's not just personal. It's connected to a kind of network of consciousness when it's activated in you. It's not just your process. You connect with others who are going through the same thing, as if there were some kind of invisible network of awakened people and your process. Even if it feels lonely, every time you go through a difficult phase, every time you choose to listen to yourself instead of following the noise of the world, you are paving the way for others. You don't see it, but it has an impact. Blavatsky said this would eventually stop being an isolated occurrence, and it would become massive, a collective awakening, and that it would bring chaos, because a society built on autopilot doesn't know what to do when people start questioning everything. But that chaos, it's not the end, it's the beginning. the birth pains of something new, a different way of living, more conscious, less mechanical. And if you look around right now, let's be honest, does it really seem like everything is normal? Or rather, does it seem like something is breaking everywhere? So, with all this, the real question is, because Blavatsky was clear about this, stop resisting. If your body asks you to stop, stop. If you need to stay in bed, do it without guilt. If something no longer fits, stop forcing it, because fighting against this is like trying to stop a wave with your hands. It's not going to work, and it's only going to wear you out more. Listen to this carefully. Stop fighting with yourself. Honor what your system is asking of you. Don't ignore it. Don't cover it up with excuses. Don't force it. Second, build a support system, even if it's small. You don't need an army. Just one or two people who try to understand you. That changes everything. If they aren't nearby, search for them online. There are more people in this process than you think. It's just that many are just as lost as you are. Third, you need practices that support you. Not something complicated, not something perfect. Simple meditation, time in nature, less screen time, less noise.
Tu mente menos estímulo.
So your system can reorganize itself without interference. And fourth, the most important of all, treat yourself with compassion. Because what you're going through, it's not easy. Stop expecting yourself to function like someone who isn't going through this. Your body, your mind, your energy, everything is being rebuilt. Blind discipline won't fix this. You get through it with patience. Now, watch out for something that almost no one warns you about. There is a real risk in this whole process, getting lost in spirituality and disconnecting completely from the physical world. And that's not the goal. You didn't come here to escape the world. You came to bring that awareness to this world, to embody it. So even when you're exhausted, you need to maintain a certain grounding. Simple things, eating, even if you don't feel like it. Go out for a walk, even if it's just for a few minutes. Take a shower, take care of your body. They don't seem like big things, but they're what keep you from disconnecting completely. Now understand this, because it completely changes the perspective. You're not the first to go through this. Thousands of people before you, they went through the same thing. Mystics, prophets, people who transformed their consciousness. They found themselves on that same path, that tiredness, that same disconnection, that same urge to withdraw from the world, and all of them, without exception. They came out the other side different, clearer, stronger, more aware. Your current pain is not the end. It's a phase. There's a version of you waiting that right now you can't even imagine. And yes, it's worth it. Elena Petrovna Blavatsky. She wasn't speaking from theory, she lived it. She paid for it with being misunderstood, rejection, and a level of pressure that most people would avoid. You could have chosen a comfortable life, an easy one, but that didn't happen. You chose to be true to what you felt, even if it came at a high price. And thanks to that,
Hoy tú estás escuchando esto. Cada vez que eliges respetar tu proceso,
even when that means stopping, you're walking that same path, that urge to stay in bed. It's not the end of anything. It's the beginning. It's where a more authentic version of your life starts. Think of it that way. What's happening inside you? It's like a seed germinating. First, all the energy goes downward. To the root, dark, invisible. It seems like nothing is happening. But right there, that's where the important stuff happens. Only after that does the sprout appear. Right now you're in that phase, the one no one sees, the one that seems like inactivity, but in reality it's pure transformation. Trust that. Trust your body. You're not broken. You're not failing. You're not alone. You're changing. And yes, you're part of something bigger than you think. But understanding that your pineal gland is activating is just the beginning. The real question is something else. What's actually happening inside that gland? What real changes, chemical, energetic, even spiritual, they're happening in there? That's it. We'll cover that in the next video.